How's everybody doing? Want to welcome you to the Rampage versus the Broncos up here in Macon, Georgia. Broncos won the toss and elected to defer until after that half, so Broncos will kick off. The Rampage coming off a huge victory, 51-0. I believe they shut it down at the half. Broncos coming off of a nail biter, losing by 1 to the Tribe last week. The Broncos travel lighter than normal, so let's see what they can do. Hayes kicks deep down to about the 10 of the Rampage. The Rampage brings it back. Number 0 runs into his own man going to the sideline. Brought down at their own 45. Broncos defense on the field first. Rampage run to the right. Number 36 with a pickup of about 4. The Rampage, I'm sure, has watched multiple games by the Broncos, and they're going to test the defensive line early. Another run right up the middle. Stop right away. You got Baker and Dade County Walker in on the stop. Derek Baker, who is the left guard for the Broncos on offense, stepping in to lend a hand on defense. 3rd and about 5 or 6 for the Rampage. Rampage looking left to throw. Number 6 for the Rampage catches the ball and carries a couple of Bronco defenders with him. Number 6 left wide open. Another run to the left side. I believe it was DJ Cone and Wyatt Hill on the stop. Gain of about 1. I imagine the Rampage is going to test their corners here early. Since number 6 was left wide open, I imagine they're going to go deep to number 6 now, or maybe 0 on a slant. deep to the right side. No receiver in the area. It had to be a miscommunication between the quarterback and receiver. Broncos sending in some fresh legs on that defensive line. An obvious pass situation here. If they don't make it, they do have a kicker with the leg to make this field goal. Look to the right side. Almost intercepted by Chelsea. King on the deflection. Chelsea almost had the interception. Broncos defense stood tall there, 4th down. Rampage is going to go for it on 4th and 9. Look to the left, looks off the defenders. Luckily, that ball was overthrown. The defenders bit down on the run and was coming up and left his man wide open. So the Broncos offense will take over. Last week, the Broncos did put up 28 points on the try, but failed to sustain a consistent drive to get the defense to break. So let's see what the Broncos offense does here. As you see a man running off the field. A run right to start the game to the left side. Sampson. No gain. The Broncos head coach told the running backs to go north and south, don't do east and west. And as you see, as soon as he saw the defender, he tried to cut it back. The Rampage took almost 3-4 minutes off of the play, off of the clock there. Wallace up the middle. The Rampage laying down on Wallace. Wallace gains about 5 on that play, so it is 3rd and 5. The Broncos cannot afford to go 3 and out here to start the game. Cedric Saxon and JT Johnson on the outside. Sampson and James in the slot. Pass to JT Johnson on the outside just does go through his hands. 3 and out. If I'm the Broncos, I'm testing the Rampage's corners on 1st down, not 3rd and 5. It's an obvious pass situation. Broncos are going to punt. Decent punt caught at the 40 by the Rampage, breaking it to the sideline. Breaks a couple of tackles. Brings it back all the way to the 10 with no flags. Special teams has been a struggle for the Broncos since week 1 of the season. Broncos special teams putting the defense in a bad position to start the 2nd drive. would imagine the Rampage is going to run the ball right up the middle, as they are in no hurry. They spotted the ball at the 15. Fake run, quarterback to the outside. Good containment by the Broncos defense. Number 6, the quarterback for the Rampage, kind of gave himself up there at the end. Number 8, I apologize. No gain on the play. Rampage will line up for 2nd and 10. I would imagine a quick screen over the middle. The Rampage's 2 top receivers, 0 and number 6, lined up to the left side. Rampage's quarterback looking left, throws it over the middle to number 0. The linebackers had a position for the Broncos, allowing a gain of about 5 yards. So it would be 3rd and 5 for the Rampage. .30 to go here in the first quarter. The Rampage taking a long time. Quick screen to the right side to number 9. And he is in for the score as the Broncos defender jumps to the inside, leaving that outside lane wide open. So the Rampage strikes first blood, 6-0. Rampage going for the field goal. It is blocked by the Broncos. 6-0 Rampage. And this week they did not run into the holder. As if you was watching last week, one of the Broncos ran into the holder of the tribe, which gave the tribe a first down and the go-ahead score. With the Broncos giving up the passing lanes, I imagine the Rampage is going to continue to test that. Rampage set to kick off. You got JT Johnson and Sampson in the back to return the kick. Low kick picked up by Futch. Futch returns it. Returns it to the Broncos' 43-yard line. Broncos will take over. 1st and 10. Close to midfield. Let's see what the Broncos can do with it on their second drive. The Broncos got to sustain a drive here to give this defense a break. Defense has been on the field for about 6.5 minutes of this first quarter. Sampson under pressure. Runs out of bounds for about 1 yard. The Rampage doing a great job of covering up the receivers. Miscommunication on the handoff between Sampson and Wallace. For a loss of 2 yards, so it's going to be 3rd and 12. This is not the way the Broncos offense needed to start this game. James, a little long. So once again, the Broncos go 3 and out, putting their defense right back on the field after having the ball for less than a minute.
You come get you a bag.
Hayes on the kick. Dante Leggett overshoots another run to the sideline. Number 14 for the Rampage taken out by Baker on the sideline. At some point, you would think that the Broncos would protect that sideline. They continue to give up big runs to the sideline. So once again, the Broncos on the short field situation. The Rampage's returner was not scared of the Broncos closing in on him.
Security team passing out free bags. Get one. Hold your hand up, security team, so they know where y'all live. Yeah, we got these free bags.
Rampage looking to go deep. Second down as the quarterback decides to keep it. And the Broncos corners held up on that play as the quarterback had nowhere to go. Managed to scramble for about 1 yard, so it's going to be 2nd and 9 for the Rampage. If I'm the Rampage, I'm running it right up the middle. Another pass right over the middle. Number 6 runs into Cone. He must have heard the footsteps because he let it go right past him as he tried to protect himself from that hit.
We got free bags at the DJ booth. Go get you one.
Rampage probably go deep on this play, if not a quarterback scramble to try to pick up a few more yards. The Rampage's receiver was holding on to King Shellman on that play. Shellman trying to get his head around the play on the ball. And the Rampage's receiver pushed off. But let's see what they call it. They're calling defensive encroachment on the Broncos. They're going to decline that one. Pass interference on Shellman. They're going to take that one. Right now, if you're the Broncos corner, you gotta coach needs to put King Shellman on the slot receiver and put Futch on the outside. Another pass by the Rampage. What a play by Wallace to come up from behind and not giving up on the play as Parker Bolton was being held by the offensive line. Wallace almost got there.
Coach, next quarter put me in. I'm ready. I'm ready, Coach.
The Broncos head coach must have heard me because they put Futch on the outside on number 9 and put King Shellman to the inside on the slot. A few of the Broncos corners didn't make the trip today. Run to the outside by number 29. Number 29 carries about 4 Broncos with him. But a few of the Broncos corners didn't make the trip today, so they're short-handed in that position. The Broncos head coach told us no excuses, it's always next man up. Injury timeout for the Rampage. With 4:17 to go in the first quarter. Rampage 6, Broncos 0. Once again, the Broncos defense doing everything they can to help out their offense. Now the offense needs to get their act together and repay the favor.
Power 107.
Third and about 1 for the Rampage. And the obvious quarterback sneak, in my opinion, line up under center and do the tush push. Dante Leggett and Katori Augustine over on that left side of the offense, with Monty Futch and King Shellman over here on the right side. He tried for a quick pass. Brought it back down because 2 defenders in the backfield and jumped to bat the ball down. 4th down, as it was no gain. If I'm the Rampage, I'm trying to kick the field goal here, not risking anything. At this point, worst case you miss it, you're still up 6-0. Best case you make it, you're up 9-0. At this point, you're risking an interception. Let's see who they call this on. Broncos defense already flagged once for defensive encroachment. The Broncos head coach just told his line to watch the ball. Another defensive encroachment by the Broncos. Right now, the defense is shooting themselves in the foot. Three minutes to go here in the first as this game is moving along quite nicely. Only 2 to 3 flags already. And these refs seem to be a notch above the ones that they were using last week. Quick snap, tried to screen, drop ball by the Rampage. Number 5 couldn't quite get his hands on it as the pass was low. Dante Leggett gives up the touchdown on that side as he allows the receiver to get behind him, and the quarterback does a great job of dropping the ball in the breadbasket. Right now, the score is 12-0. Rampage going for 2 as they were unsuccessful on the field goal last time, hoping to make it 14-0 and not give the Broncos a chance to take the lead. Run by 29 to the outside, and he walks in almost untouched for the 2-point conversion. Broncos have an injured player. Looks to be Contori Augustine.
See what I'm saying? I'm making see what I'm saying. First I want smoke, boom, that is just playing. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? I'm making see what I'm saying. Trying to make songs I learn. Turn her out and grip my brain. Compete in the film. I be with baby when I'm in the film. Since I got money, they calling me out. I fell in love with this girl, she a dancer. I think her name was Rio. I can't.
With the Broncos already being short-handed, they cannot afford to lose Katori Augustine. Katori Augustine gets up and walks off gingerly. Broncos setting up to return the kick. Rampage kicks it deep. Picked up by JT Johnson. JT Johnson on the return out to the 30. Broncos offense going back out onto the field for their third drive of the first quarter. Let's see if they can sustain a drive here. The Rampage already had 3 drives and scored on 2 of those 3. Sampson with the handoff to Wallace. Wallace drops his shoulder early. They're giving Wallace about 5 yards on the run. Last year, Wallace was the bread and butter of this Broncos offense, along with his sidekick, Jalen De La Fuente. Fuente, who injured his shoulder in the preseason game, is out for the season. Number 37 for the Rampage jumps off sides. Good move by the Broncos offense. As soon as they seen him jump, they moved. That should be a free 5 yards for the Broncos as they repay the favor to the Rampage for making their defense jump off sides. So it will be 1st and 10 for the Broncos. First down. Another run by Wallace up the middle for about 1 or 2. They're going to give him 2. Not at the moment, Mr. Walker, but they have already been talked into the scheme. And they will be put in here in a little bit. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Lewis Sampson back for the pass. Cedric Saxton on the catch. I missed another catch by Saxon because I was zoomed in and watching the field and not the camera. Another first down for the Broncos. Another run by Wallace to the left side for about 2.5. 27 seconds to go here in the first. If I'm the Broncos, I am letting the time run out and start the second quarter going the other way. They do not need to run a play here. And that is the end of the first. Broncos down by 14 after 1. I'm guessing the Cardinals last week against the Rampage quit at halftime as one of their chain gang members asked Monty Futch if we were going to stick around to the end of the fourth. The Broncos offense starting to get some momentum. That jet sweep blown up as the offensive line lets the defender right through. Pass by Sampson as he gets drugged down by his shoulder. The Broncos will once again punt. Once again, for the third drive in the row, the Broncos offense stalls. So another punt by Hayes. The snap was super high. Hayes takes the ball and tries to get away long enough to kick it. That line for the offense, well, the line in general is struggling these last few plays, letting the Rampage right on through. So once again, the Broncos defense will be forced to defend a short field. This has been a story week in and week out for this Broncos defense, having to defend a short field. Quarterback looking at number 9. It just throws the ball. Thought he was going to throw it away, but was able to complete the pass to number 1 for a short gain. Great pursuit by the Broncos defense. And obviously the corners had the receivers locked down, which is why he threw it short. Good job by number 1 for the Rampage, finding a way to get open and get something. Run by the Rampage. 36 lowers his shoulder, able to break 1 tackle. Picks up about 3, so it's going to be 3rd and about 5 for the Rampage. Rampage's quarterback looking right at number 1. And he goes deep. Kurt Gaines tried to jump up to intercept the ball. It goes through his hands. And luckily the Rampage's receiver didn't catch it either, or he'd have been gone for the touchdown. So 4th down for the Rampage. Broncos need to watch the ball here, as the Rampage will probably try to get him to jump off sides to get that free 1st down. Linebackers need to stay in their position to keep any slants from coming over that middle. False start by the Rampage. It will back them up 5 more yards, so it will be 4th and 10 for the Rampage. At this point, if you're the Rampage, I'm punting just to make sure an interception doesn't happen to pin the Broncos deep. Because if you miss this, you're giving the Broncos prime field position on the 30. Well, the 27. The Rampage calls a timeout. They want to discuss what they're going to do on 4th down. 11:46 to go in the 2nd quarter. Rampage 14, Broncos 0. The Broncos offense needs to adjust quick and fast. If they don't, they're going to be climbing out of a hole all game long. The Broncos with a 2-3 record, just on the edge of the playoffs. They've got to win 4 out of the next 5 to have a chance to get into the bubble of the playoffs. And they were hoping to start it here, but offensively, they're struggling. Pass play by the Rampage. Quarterback breaks to the outside. Wide open in the middle of the field. They give up the 1st down. gutsy call by the Rampage on that 4th down. The Rampage run it in after he runs into his own lineman, bounces it to the outside. No Bronco defenders in sight. And the Broncos give up another touchdown. After the Broncos left the middle of the field wide open on that 4th for the Rampage to complete a pass, the Rampage said, "Thank you, we will run it in from here." Another run by the Rampage, bounces it outside by number 5. Breaks the tackle by Wallace. The Broncos run to the ball and tackle him just outside the end zone, so the 2-point conversion no good. Score is 20-0 Rampage. The Broncos offensive coordinator better have something magical up his sleeve, because if not, this is going to get ugly very fast. 10:49 to go in the 2nd quarter. The Broncos need some kind of spark. A pop kick by the Rampage, picked up by Futch. The head coach gathers the defense on the sideline to give them a little pep talk. Cedric Saxon lined up on the outside on number 16. If I'm the Broncos, I'm throwing it up and letting Ced eat. Run by the Broncos to the left side. Tyreek Lyles. A hard 3-4 yards on that run. But if I'm the Broncos, I see Cedric Saxon, who's 6'2", 6'3", lined up on the defender, who's 5'11", 6 foot best. I'm throwing it up and letting Cedric Saxon go get it. A little misdirection. Run by Sampson. Sampson picks up the first down. Fumble on the play. Bad handoff by the Broncos. So once again, the Broncos defense right back on the field. Rampage throwing the ball. Looking to go deep. The Rampage's receivers were wide open. Got past their corner and their safety. Broncos defense. The safety's got to know he's the last line of protection. He needs to play deep. Run by the Rampage up the middle. The Broncos defensive line overshoots. Kentori Augustine back out there on the field after limping off earlier. The Broncos safety's almost in the linebacker's position. He needs to back up. Ball was a little overthrown as Dante Leggett was on the coverage there. Fourth and 5 for the Rampage. Guaranteed they're going to go for it here. Another pass by the Rampage over the middle. The Broncos defense is leaving the middle of the field wide open. Broncos need to check out of this 4-2-5 defense that they're in and go to a 4-3 so they can leave somebody in the middle to take away that in the middle of the field. Another run, this time is to the outside. Katori Augustine missing the tackle and limping as the Rampage goes for about 6 or 7. A little bit of extracurricular activity after the play. You know, it's got to be frustration starting to set in for this Broncos defense. Another run by the Rampage for a first down. There's a lot of arm tackling going on out there and nobody wrapping up. .5:20 to go here in the half. The Broncos need a big defensive stop here. They've got to figure out how to stop the bleeding. A fake run, quarterback going to the outside. Brian Hayes brings the quarterback down for a loss of about 5 or 6. Hayes landing on top of his own player. And it's Baker, the starting left guard for the Broncos, coming up limping. The Broncos cannot afford to lose anybody on that offensive line. Chelsea and Futch switching positions. Futch going to the safety position. Futch backpedaling. Futch almost intercepts the ball, his first play in the safety position. Also gets hurt on the play. So it will be an official timeout. Third and 15 for the Broncos. As Futch has to come off for one play since he calls the official timeout. The Broncos don't let anything go deep. They also need to not leave the middle wide open. Cone taking away the middle. Shellman blocked out by the receiver and gives up the touchdown. Luckily, the Rampage dropped the ball on that two-point conversion because once again, the middle of the field back there left wide open for the Rampage. The Broncos head coach needs to figure something out because this is getting out of hand fast. The score is now 26-0 Rampage. The Rampage looked to be on cruise control here early. Kick goes to Dante Leggett. If I'm Leggett, I'm giving myself up there. I'm not taking any unnecessary hits. The Broncos cannot afford to lose any corners at this point, as they are already missing 4 starters in that position. The Broncos offense takes over with 3:36 to go in the half. The Broncos must score on this drive. Wallace back to pass, and his first pass is an interception. A pick six thrown by Wallace as he was trying to hit Cedric Saxton. Lundy, the score is now 32-0, but both sides of the ball for the Broncos are struggling today. This is the most points the Broncos have given up in any half of any game this season. as we have a couple of starting corners who weren't able to make the trip and a couple of safeties that weren't able to make the trip. And the Rampage have exposed the backup corners. And once again, the Broncos defense has been on the field for about 20 of the 27 minutes so far. JT Johnson picks up the ball off the bounce, going to the outside. Late hit, and there's a flag on number 14. JT Johnson on the sideline screaming in pain as he was twisted and brought down and then hit late. Injury timeout on the field for JT Johnson. Broncos calling for the ambulance. Hey, Miss Cone.
Hey, what in the world? That's wrong, isn't it?
Listen, they're leaving the middle of the field open. They're leaving the middle of the field wide open,
Yeah.
and the corners get beat every time. JT Johnson up but limping.
Dream.
The Broncos are set up in prime real estate as they were on the Rampage's 41 after that penalty. Run by the Broncos. Sampson to that right side. Sampson breaks it. Sampson, horse collar tackle. Where is the flag for the horse collar? The refs did not call the horse collar tackle. Every week it seems to be the same thing for the Broncos. They got to play the other team and the refs. Not that that penalty would have made a difference since they're on the 1 yard line, but run by Wallace. Wallace sneaks it in for the touchdown. The Broncos get on the board before the half. Hey, Pete, you and TC need to check in. With their head coach. Yeah, hey. He already. Hey, Garrett. Hey, 42 threw it over here. The Broncos said they are not leaving today with a goose egg. Sampson broke the run for about 40 yards. Finished off by Dontre Wallace. Dontre said, "My apologies for that pick six. I'm going to return the favor with a touchdown." Broncos going for two. The Rampage called for a timeout. Rampage coaches didn't like what they saw, so they're going to adjust. Great blocking by the offensive line on both plays to get that touchdown. Contori Augustine looks to be done for the day as he has his pads off after being injured earlier. Dontre Wallace keeps it himself and goes in for 2. Broncos 8, Rampage 32. The defense finally got a break on that drive. Let's see what the Broncos defense can do. Can they hold the Rampage out of the end zone before that half? Can they get a turnover to give the Broncos offense another chance to put points on the board? 2:24 to go in the half. I know Dontre Wallace wishes he could have that pick 6 back. Good kick by Hayes down to the 15. Dante Leggett and Futch to the outside. They combine for the tackle. Gang tackle by the Broncos. You got Cone, Peak, Futch, and Leggett all in on the tackle. Rampage looking to capitalize here and take the wind out of the Broncos' sail. King Shellman lined up on the outside against number 9. Leggett on the other side. Rampage run the ball to the outside. Leggett chops him down. Dante Leggett. Hayes. Tackle for a loss of 2 on that play. Good read by Leggett to come off of his receiver, so the receiver couldn't get the block that allowed him to make that tackle for a loss. Futch and Chelsea both back playing safety. Futch still limping from earlier. And a sack by the Broncos defense by Tyreek Lyles. 3 in the backfield jumped up at the same time, making number 2 bring the ball back in and ended up getting hit. Tyreek Lyles might get the credit for the sack, but that entire Broncos defensive line was in the backfield. The Broncos call for a timeout. It is 3rd and forever for the Rampage with 1:22 to go in the half. Head coach Garrett is hoping to give the Broncos offense one more shot at scoring before the half. Broncos missing Ruth Jr., Tripp, Cam, Chase Daughtry, just to name a few. All starters who make an impact. Brandon James for the Broncos is dancing here on the sideline. Number 2, quick pass to the outside. Leggett chops him down on the sideline. Broncos head coach calling another timeout as it is 4th down for the Rampage. 1:14 to go. Broncos 1 timeout left. And we know the Rampage will not punt. They will go for it. They will try a deep pass to expose the Broncos corners again. Hopefully the safeties play deep and give up nothing. Adjustments made by head coach Garrett to the defense. And the defense has looked better thus far. JT Johnson up and walking around on his own power, saying he is getting back in the game. Chelsea needs to fade over to this side with King Shellman. Ball going deep. Dante Leggett defends the pass perfectly. So the offense will get the ball back in prime real estate, as it should be 1st and 10 on the Rampage's 31-yard line. The Broncos have 1 minute and 9 seconds with 1 timeout and 31 yards of real estate.
Power 107.
Dontre Wallace keeps the ball, and the Rampage will get flagged for a face mask as he rips Dontre Wallace's helmet off. Number 42 should be ejected from the game. That is the 2nd unsportsmanlike conduct on 42. With 7 seconds ticking off the clock on that play, the Rampage helping out the Broncos on this drive. The refs marking it down at the Rampage's about 15-yard line. Sheen JT is not doing good right now, sir. If we throw a slant to JT and he gets popped, he might be out for the game. Already had to call the EMT for him once. Sampson runs to the outside and gets taken down inbound, so that clock will continue to run. Second down and about 9 for the Broncos. 52 seconds to go. False start on the Broncos. Five. They will call Cedric Saxton for the false start. Back in the Broncos up 5. So 2nd and 14 now for the Broncos. 50 seconds to go. Sampson on the run again. Final timeout called by the Broncos with 43 to go. The Broncos photographer Jennifer Barnes looking good on the sideline over there, trying to block the sun out of her eyes. Yeah, but that defensive line is jumping up every time, Sheen. Every time. That's how Dontre threw that pick six a little while ago. And as you asked for it, quick pass to Wyatt Hill, incomplete. 39 seconds to go. Fourth and 9 for the Broncos. They have to convert here. They don't necessarily need the touchdown, but they got to have the first down. Dante Leggett going in as a tight end. Dontre Wallace swarmed by Rampage players. Broncos turn it over on downs. Dontre tried to run, but it looked like that defensive line got back there a little too fast for him. Or he was trying to pass. My apologies. Cedric was wide open as well. Holding by the Rampage's offense. Number 2 running around forever back there. Let's check the flag in the area of holding on the offense, and it is. If I'm the Rampage, I'm taking a knee and going into that half with a 3-touchdown lead. Number 2 looking to throw deep. Goes over the middle. Almost intercepted by the Broncos. But it was dropped. But I would take that any day. Tight coverage by King Shellman on the outside, forcing the Rampage's quarterback to throw it inside. The Rampage's center looks to be about 4'5". The Broncos defense should be able to expose that. Number 2 with a quick pass. Dante Leggett tried to do a pick 6 before the half. Third down for the Rampage. At this point, the Rampage needs to be hit with a delay of game. They're going to take the victory formation to go into half. (32-8) Rampage going into the half. We will be back for the second half after halftime.